Hi there. I just want to start by saying thank you all for coming to hear more about my project. My Capstone, I worked with 2050 Project, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on environmental communication. For my internship with them, I was tasked with researching and designing a workforce development program plan for the clean energy industry. As most of us are aware, the demand for workers in green sectors has been increasing for the past decade as more information is learned about climate change and new green codes and policies are set in place. For my independent research, I chose to investigate what does it take for a workforce development program to be successful, which led to my research question, what elements make a workforce development program successful? To answer my question, I did extensive literature research for both my internship and independent study, as well as developed and administered a survey related to workforce development broadly, as well as environmentally focused. That was sent to environmental students at the University of Washington. The survey showed insight into the lack of environmental workforce development that students at the college age have experienced previously. It was practically zero out of all my respondents, which helps emphasize the need for these programs to be developed. The main question for my survey that I focused on was what students thought would be the most effective environmental workforce development program tactic. And the results show that there was nearly a tie between field trips to career facilities. This survey is in the bottom left. Field trips to career facilities in the environmental field, which won and was followed by day camp workshops that take students through what an environmental career may look like, such as following a professional and completing their job route. Both of these would have participants actively engaged. Then, based upon my literature research, there was 3 common elements that were repeatedly brought up and deemed to be elements for success. These elements are having hands-on learning experiences where participants get to actually participate in activities rather than just watch or listen to, as it shows through my survey question 2. And then the specific quote from a UW student said, I think hands-on experience for students would be the best way to get them exposed to the field or career they might take interest in. Hands-on learning is said to be the most important element from both experts and students alike in my experience. The next element for success is teaching soft skills, which are considered to be social skills. These skills include teamwork and cooperation, as well as workplace etiquette, with a quote from my research saying, we hire the smile, we can train the skills. Many places want to hire people they can see themselves working successfully with and having a good coworker relationship, and that they can teach them the skills they need as they are trained. It's a hard thing to train social skills. It is easier to train the technical skills over time. The last element for a successful workforce development program is to be widely accessible, which means limiting any barriers that may hinder participants from being able to join. A major example would be to have virtual elements of a workforce development program so people who may not be able to afford transportation or people who may not be able to get childcare are still able to participate. My graphic at the bottom is an example of what a typical workforce development program looks like as it builds upon each stage of the process and gets elongated and more complicated. The findings from my survey and study may not be environmentally drawn. Well, my survey is environmentally drawn, but my research isn't all environmentally drawn. But they can be applied to help develop new environmental workforce programs that can help shape and expand the next generation of green workers. The next steps are to continue researching and begin designing and funding more programs. Getting local universities and colleges to begin hosting workshops for these programs should be the goal to get action kickstarted. And on the right side of the screen, there's a photo of 2 individuals participating in an energy learning activity in a workforce development program hosted at Western Washington University. This is an example of how these programs are already happening. They're just not happening at the scale that we need. And so we need more funding from the government, and we need more people to be on board with hosting. And then to end, I would like to acknowledge and thank my site supervisor, John Kennedy, and my faculty advisor, Benjamin Brunges, for guiding me in this journey the past 3 quarters. And I would like to thank my friends and family for all the support they've given me. If you have any questions, please let me know.